everybody. I just got back from working out, so excuse the appearance, but I wanted to make this video while I was thinking about it because I was at the gym, and so I was thinking about work because I like what I do. And one thing, I don't know, I was also scrolling through social media because let's be real, sometimes if you're on like a bike or something, that's the one thing that'll keep you going is if, you can mindlessly scroll on social media a bit. And one thing I have seen a good bit of here lately, and I feel like I've been around long enough to have an opinion on this, is, God, what would the right word even be? I guess sort of like small business or no, e-commerce kind of patterns. And I don't know, one thing I definitely have noticed, like I said, I feel like one of the old timers. I've been around in the e-commerce world here for, God, about 10 years now, which when everything on the internet changes so fast, like, that makes me a dinosaur at this point. And one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of people, and I'm in the fiber arts world, so a lot of kind of indie dyers and that people that dye, independent fiber artists who are dyeing yarn, and I love these people and work with a lot of these people. And I have noticed a lot of people on Instagram here lately with a lot of posts that are like save my business kind of post, basically along the lines of I'm going to have to go out of business if people don't come and buy what's in my shop right now. I can't afford my next month on my website. I can't afford my next shipment of like yarn supplies, dyes, whatever. And I've just been noticing a lot of these posts. And so, I'm interested in this sort of thing, and, the e-commerce world is my world. So, it behooves me to notice things when they come up. And so I go through and I read through the comments, and there's a lot of other people who usually are commenting who are also have similar fiber arts kind of businesses. But I imagine if you were somebody that followed like handmade jewelry posts, you'd probably see the same thing. So I'm speaking from the fiber arts perspective because that's where I'm at. But I imagine if you were in, like ceramics or jewelry making or, whatever it is that you're doing, I'm sure people are seeing similar things in other industries, would just be my hunch. And all these people are commenting like, oh my God, same too, same here, same here. And the theme is that they used to be able to, they're all people, of course I go click, and like I said, the person, I don't even know who it is, but the last one of these I looked at, these people usually have like 12,000 plus followers on Instagram. And if you go look at my Instagram profile right now, like you would laugh, like it is a joke. I think I like cracked the 2000s at some point last year and then completely quit paying attention. After that, my Instagram account, y'all hear me talk a lot of shit about Instagram. I don't know, me and Instagram have beef. So my Instagram account I pretty much use is just like, it's kind of half business, half a personal account. And there's pictures on there from like my last camping trip with my family. And it's pretty much, I view Instagram as like, and what I would recommend, I guess, use Instagram as like a online business card. So the idea being, if you find me somewhere else or you find my business somewhere else and you want to Google or go on Instagram, because that's what I do, like with small businesses, whether it's a restaurant or a new bar or a band venue or, whatever, I usually go on Instagram. This is just my search pattern. So, my husband's like, hey, there's a new cool venue in town or a new restaurant. Like the first thing I usually do, because we both love supporting small businesses, is I will go on Instagram versus Google, honestly. Like I'm not Googling to see if they have a website. I go on Instagram and I search like the business name, and then that gives you a good feel of kind of like their vibe. Are they still around? Did they just start? Are they posting regularly? Are they not? Does their account look like it's totally dead? And then usually everybody has like a link, and then I'll click the link, and that might take me to the website to like look at a menu or see what their hours are, buy tickets, whatever it is that we're doing. Like I said, that's something my husband and I both do. We like to hit up all of like the small little indie film fest and that sort of thing around Knoxville. And so that's my search habit. And I feel like that's what a lot of other people's search patterns are too. So I use Instagram not as a selling tool, but which is very apparent if you go look at my Instagram. It's very sad, but as like a business card. So if somebody finds me online and wants to go look up Feral Scene, or they want to look up Crafty Housewife Yarns, or just my name, it will go somewhere where you can get a general idea of, my aesthetic, who I am, what I carry. My links are there. I have stupid memes there, pictures of, like I said, our last camping trip. So you get kind of an idea of who I am, what I'm about, what I have. And then if you would like to get links to go to find like a certain blog post or subscription or whatever, you can easily find that through Instagram. But I am not using Instagram as a sales tool. And definitely not selling off Instagram. Like, I do post things that are like, hey, new colors this month. Like, these are, I'm really excited about these new braids for this month's subscription. Like, here's a picture, But that sort of thing are more like how-tos. But what I've noticed is all of these accounts that are businesses that claim they're having trouble are what they got used to was that I feel like a lot during 2020 when everybody was at home, everybody was on social media, and for as weird as it was in the middle of a pandemic, not everybody, of course, but a lot of people had they were working at home, they had all these extra stimulus checks, or, they're not driving, so they're not running out money on gas, whatever it was. I know for my business, 2020 was a great year. I was kind of ahead of the game on online. I was already online. I was an established e-commerce business going into 2020. So that was very helpful to me. But I feel like a lot of the people that were maybe working office jobs and then went home and then they were like, well, on Instagram, all I have to do is just post pictures of like, they were doing like new shop drops like every couple weeks. And I mean, it was beautiful stuff. So people were buying it and snapping it up. And so they got to thinking like that was their business model. And their business model was to grow on social media and to grow on Instagram and to post shop updates and then just pretty much have however it was people were checking out, and that's how they were making money. And that is amazing. I'm so happy that was a thing during, like I said, I feel like a lot of that cropped up during COVID when everybody was home. And if you are focusing, and I feel like I've said this on other videos, and I know I'm not the first one, if you are only focusing on selling, like growing a social media account like Instagram, which had been kind of the darling of the social media world for a long time, and everybody is really saying, and I have definitely noticed, Instagram is kind of bitchy and will change its opinion on its algorithm at like the drop of a hat. And I really think it's just that the more they try to like merge with the metaverse or whatever, they're always experimenting with what they're pushing. And I've been around long enough to know sometimes things that are videos get pushed. Sometimes posting once a day is good. Sometimes posting 3 times a week is good. Sometimes it was Reels, then it was Instagram stories. Like, they have changed, and I'm just picking on Instagram because that's what I was looking at. They change what people are being shown very willy-nilly. So if your whole business plan has been up to this point, I'm going to grow my following on Instagram, and I'm going to post things and sell them off of Instagram, and that by having followers is your business, you can't have your followers be your business. You have to take people from being your followers onto like an email list or something, so that, I mean, I know I've changed I've redone my website, I've changed my email provider. I've changed enough over the years that if I hadn't had people on an email list, as well as other places, I have a really great Facebook group, so that's more where I'm pertinent, and then YouTube, obviously. I think most people that follow me, I don't know, yeah. Honestly, it's pretty split these days, but a lot of people on YouTube, I can't just rely on, people follow me on YouTube. I need to rely on having those people find me in those places and then end up on my website, signed up for a newsletter, so that they can get updates on new shop drops, new things I'm selling, just new blog posts, like, hey, new announcement, I've got this now. Like, that's what people, you've got to try to get people from following you to actually being on your marketing. And I mean, I feel like people think that's sleazy. Like, it's not sleazy. You're running a business. How else are people going to know what you're selling? Like, I'm on the email list for, I don't know how many different businesses, because I want to know when they have new stuff come out. Like, I mean, we have a Yeti cup problem at our house, so we clearly, between me and the girls, and I mean, do I buy them every time they come out? No, of course not, because we're trying to cut back on the amount of stupid cups we have around here. But you can see I did get the pink sliders when those came out, so if that hadn't been, if I hadn't been on their email list, I wouldn't have known that I could get stupid pink sliders for my cups, which is completely unnecessary, yet made me happy. So it's not a bad thing to have people on your email list and getting your marketing. And I just felt like that needed to be reiterated, maybe, because that's definitely a pattern I had noticed. Was people all went home during the pandemic. A lot of people started working for themselves, which is great. That's the whole thing I'm here to promote. But if you're just relying off of being a social media darling because whatever type of person or account you had at that moment was like the thing du jour that everybody wanted to go follow, is not going to give you long-term e-commerce stick-around ability. You've got to be able to leverage that into having people that are, going to your site and following your actual marketing, because that way they can find you in different places. Like, I have people that I like to follow, and I follow some of them on Instagram, and I love some of them have great YouTube channels, and then other people have a podcast. So I'm following all these people in different places, not just being a fan in one. And that is definitely, like I said, I guess I felt not bad, but said I saw these posts right before I carried a big bundle of packages that I had shipments going out. I'm trying to get them to the mailman, and I was just like, what is it that I did different that maybe other people have not? And it was definitely not putting all my eggs in one basket, and definitely not trying to sell off of social media. So, anyhow, I gotta go take a shower now. So, I hope y'all have a good day, and I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, post below. And I hope none of that came off as bitchy or whatever, because I didn't mean it that way. But those were just, like I said, I felt like if you were a newer business owner and that was when you kind of got into it, was during COVID on the social media boom, you definitely want to look into getting some email list options, and I can probably cover more email list stuff in another video. So there you go.